How do you imagine? Okay, so this is interesting here in the era of where we don't get to see each other in the booth anymore, where we're remoting. How do you imagine that you're speaking to a friend when no one is in the booth when performing or auditioning? Any tips? How do you put yourself in the space?
That's a great question.
It is a great question. And before you do, I'm just going to say that I actually just started getting out there and helping everybody with this because I don't think that you should self-direct. So yeah, I think that more
Yeah,
people.
when I was on the phone with you the other day, you were just coming off, right?
Right.
What were you doing?
Yeah, just helping somebody out with an audition. Going over the copy with them, having them bounce things off, sending it to me. Let me listen to it. Let me give them a perspective of
That's
a director.
awesome.
Yeah, I
you
think
get to do
that needs to be done. It's so
Definitely.
hard,
It
right?
is really
I learned
hard.
that when I do workshops. Nobody really reads, and I'll let you guys answer. I'm sorry, this
No,
is not my
this is-
question.
No,
You're
this
the
is your
director.
answer. Though.
Yeah, no,
You're the one who actually hires the person and directs them. So
Yeah, who does she know?
right?
We occasionally bring in somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Exactly.
occasionally. Then my advice would be to read the copy several times, especially the direction. What I'm looking at, or if I hear somebody that has not obviously read the direction, the description or direction, I move on.
Next.
I figured if you have not taken the time to really read it or read the in between where we've put in and then they cough and then they skipped or then they slammed, hook smash, whatever. I want to hear you. We put it in there so that you can use that for the delivery of the previous or the next lines.
There, that was free. She just gave you that
Funny.
free.
That was.
That was
If you're a
incredible.
voice actor, wannabe out there, please donate about $2,000
Yeah, that's what you would have gotten from the class,
to
right?
10kheroes.com. Link is in the chat.
Is that right?
Hello.
I'm gonna cry. I haven't even said anything. Okay, shut it out. No more
All
crying.
right, you do the introduction.
No,
Yes,
you did. You
no.
already did.
I'll introduce myself.
because I'll
Hi,
cry.
this is Chris.
It's Lansdowne. Chris Evans.
Lansdowne. I was cracking up because
Yeah.
you had Chris Anthony Downs.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want you to-
that
yeah.
would be me.
That's okay.
That would be me. I put
You're
together
so
the schedule.
fine.
You're here. You're here.
Fired up.
And that's all that matters. I
So-
got
I changed it
I've
from
got Rob on
Where's
Rob? Right,
Rob's right
Behind
there.
you. Yeah,
Hi, Chris.
right.
buddy. Well, I
If
can't.
you look into that camera,
you hear
he'll
him?
see you. So look.
This,
Yeah.
this is the camera we see him.
Oh.
This one.
Let's start kissing.
Hey, anyway,
Can-
we're going to
wait.
reset the room. Hey, everybody. We have been joined by the amazing, wonderful Chris Anthony Lansdowne.
Boy, I'll say.
She is the voice of a generation. She is the voice of Barbie. She is a rock star and beloved, and we're so proud and happy
So
to have
beloved.
her. She's joining Fred
Yeah.
Tatasciore, Tattered Shorts
Tattered
in the booth, and we have Rob
the whole
Paulsen. Rob Paulsen is zooming in before he goes out and fights crime for the rest of the day. He is here
Yeah.
helping us.
I'm not letting
Yeah.
you go anywhere.
Right?
You're
He's gonna
staying
be
here with me.
co-hosting.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
By the
And-
way, I got you guys know this, and Chris won't say this because she's far
Really?
too. She's just so sweet and far too humble. But virtually everybody in casting in LA, the refrain is hands down, it's Lansdowne, and so that's why she works. But you won't say that, sweetie, because
No.
you're a
Right.
totally wonderful Menchosaurus. You
my
won't tell
gosh.
about. Yeah.
She's
know-
my yellow balloon. Did you know that? She's my
Oh,
yellow balloon.
you guys are way too sweet, and I just love it. Not a minute goes by that I'm not going to see do it again.
Rob,
No,
get in here, man.
Wait, I have a question, Rob.
yeah, Rob.
Yeah.
Only because this is, I know, very near and dear to you. And,
Yeah.
being the adult and having, if you don't mind me speaking of your cancer.
No, please,
okay.
fire away.
How was it, how was it? I mean, I think you
Well-
can give some great insight from, I'm the mom watching the child, okay? I did
Well,
not
yeah.
have it. I do not know the hell that you went through, which I know it was. They're putting poison
Well-
in your system to kill off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything is relative, of course. And look, when I was diagnosed with stage 3 metastatic squamous cell carcinoma of the throat,
Of
don't
the
trust me.
throat.
The twisted cosmic irony was not
Wow.
lost on me.
No.
But it's kind of like, the universe says, hey, dude, check it out. You think you're a badass. You think you're really, you're free and clear. nobody gets out of here without a couple of dings. Due to the incredibly privileged business and place in which I find myself, and I know Chris and the others can speak to this as well. The number of children whom I've had the pleasure and privilege of meeting in person at a hospital, on the phone, Zoom calls,
Make a wish.
it's over and over and over again. And all of us, especially with Ninja Turtles, and good God, I've gotten to do so much stuff. And often the parents keep in touch with me after their children pass away. And look, even though I wasn't excited about the prospect, but I was 60 when I was diagnosed. Even if the doctors had said, look, you're going to have to go home, get your stuff together, we're going to keep you comfortable, but that's it. What did I have to complain about? I have the friends we've discussed, many right here in the room, and all these other, the people the work, quote unquote, that we do, I'm learning, has a profoundly important effect on people. Far bigger than my paycheck.
The energy,
far bigger
the
than
love that comes from you
It's
guys.
incredible.
Okay,
And
can we have your paycheck?
Sure, absolutely.
Money where your
I do.
mouth is, Rob.
Rob, that's absolutely right. Rob, that's absolutely
No,
right.
the energy that comes from you
It's
playing
true.
the characters and how it's received in pure joy and love.
It's amazing.
It's
And-
medicine.
Well, both
Thank
these
you.
guys here have got hearts for kids. Big
Yeah.
time.
Big heart.
And let me tell you, it isn't the job. They know it.
No.
no.
We all know it. It's not the
It's the best
job.
part of
It's
what we
the
do.
road into people's
Look,
lives. That's what makes the difference.
I've been.
That's so true.
My son never had to go through that. The parents, often the children, are impossibly brave. Moms and dads are a freaking mess.
Yeah.
And the number of times that I've gotten a phone call weeks after, you will never know, ...
Right.
And it's not, look, like I said, I don't draw them and I don't write them.
Yeah.
Freddie and I and Chris, we get to be the point person. We get the glam. But man, I go home and all of a sudden my kid's spilling chocolate ice cream on a white couch. Now,
Doesn't seem so.
what it turns out to be is a cherished memory
Yeah.
of my little boy spilling ice cream on the couch.
Yeah, I'll take it all
My
day
love
long.
you.
Absolutely.
All day
And I've-
long.
Brilliant. Brilliantly
I've watched
said.
the number of times that these parents would contact me during my treatment, afterward. I didn't tell anybody because everybody's got their stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so when Mr. Paulsen, we just want to let you know, here's a photograph of you and Jordy taken 2 years ago. He's gone now, but you will not. Are you kidding me?
Right.
How do those parents get up the next day and put their goddamn pants on? I don't know how they do
You
it.
have two choices,
Yeah,
Rob.
Colette.
You have the choice of going in the corner and rocking, and
Yeah.
becoming a shell of yourself. Or I did not want to disgrace her memory by it becoming about me. So
Yeah.
I put on that flower dress and I put on that big white brim hat and I went to
You
that
bet.
funeral and I celebrated.
Amen.
Along with 500 people spilling out of the church up at Forest Lawn.
Right.
And we celebrated what was Charisse and what she
Yeah.
brought to each one of us. Because
Absolutely.
as we all have seen, like a widow who's been with a husband for 100 years and then they're just a shell of themselves and they're wailing, and then it becomes about taking care of that person. I did not want that. I wanted the memory of her to live
Yeah.
on.
Amen.
So,
Exactly.
so you do have choices and people would understand either way.
Yeah.
You know?
They do. Absolutely they do. And I thought to in fact, I remember clearly the day that I got the phone call, which I was pretty much expecting what I heard. And they said, yeah, well, it's cancer. And I thought, at this very moment, this is Los Angeles. There are 13 million people in the greater LA area. Somebody is getting a call from LA Children's Hospital saying, your 4-year-old little,
Right now, as we speak.
little Sydney has a stage 2 glioblastoma, which is what killed John McCain at 80.
Right.
And
Right.
so you go, oh, okay. You know what? You're okay. And they gave me everything I needed to be comfortable. They said, we're virtually sure we can cure you, but before we do, we almost have to kill you.
Yes.
It's brutal. I lost 50 pounds and all that other stuff. but I'm here.
Yay.
I'm working.
That's right.
And
God.
Say it.
yeah, but
Chance
all of
there.
us, as a result of this, and I know I'm not, I will truncate this a little bit, but all of us have this impossibly wonderful privilege of doing something, and it goes out there into the ether.
Yeah.
And then when we get to do these Comic-Cons, which are now springing up like zits on a 12-year-old, they're so great. But you
that's
see these
such an
people.
ugly picture.
Oh, but it's
and
a
yeah.
perfect analogy.
Thank you.
But Rob, you've been the patron saint, though. You've been the
Yeah.
patron saint.
Yeah, but all of
taking
us. I mean,
Yeah.
you see, I've seen Freddie with his line, and people
Freddie with his
going
line.
like
I've
this,
seen Freddie in his
you know,
line
get-
too. It's just like,
Oh my God! People start to cry.
Yeah.
We hear the most profound. The average age of the people who come to see Tress and Mo and me and is probably 40, 45, and they talk about not only the children but themselves, or they say, "Mr. Paulsen, I was in the foster system from the time I was 6 months old till I was 19, and I had to go to 6 different homes. I'm fine now. I'm 47. Here are my 2 kids, my wife. We're all dressed in our Ninja Turtle t-shirts. And you will never know
We hear
what
the stories
Ninja
like that.
frickin' Turtles.
Yes.
Ninja
Means to me.
Turtles.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
Are you
Barbie
kidding?
had her fair share of those stories.
Yeah.
Believe me, I didn't know that little kids would talk to a doll.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God.
I did.
You know.
Didn't
Yeah.
you?
I mean, Mattel. I'm going to say this now because Mattel can't fire me. But I used to make phone calls to little girls.
As
At
Barbie.
the hospital. I wasn't allowed to do that, but I said, you know what? I'm going to use it for the good.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, am I really
amazing.
going to do this? I don't know what I'm entering into. I'm talking to little kids that are
Yeah.
sick and they need hope. And it's like, I'm a doll, but I'm not. I'm Chris.
Right.
But I'm Chris as a doll. So I just kind of let go of that. And I thought, what would I want to hear as a little girl? Laying in a bed, sick. And I just remember thinking, oh, you'll be okay. Don't worry. I'm your friend. That makes me cry.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, and how
That
many?
meant something.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
meant
I thought to
something.
myself, is it a job or is it something else? And I thought you have to find more purpose in your life than this stuff, because this is all amazing. We get all these accolades, but literally, and I was telling someone out there, I said, you know, when you go to a job and you do your job well, that's great. But there's got to be more. There's got to be more, because that's what we're here for.
This is the best part.
Yeah,
That's
this is the best part.
Oh
This
my
is what
God.
changes the world. You know, you could be a great character, but if you can't talk to somebody and say there's something better than that, and say there's more to look
Yes.
forward to. And I sometimes think when I stand in line at stores, and I don't mean to just ramble like I am.
That's what we're doing.
Oh no, trust me.
We got
Ramble
23
out.
hours to kill.
Come on, Rob.
Let me tell
You can sing it for me.
I was standing in a store, and there was this kid, and he was the checker, and he was, just taking the groceries and going through, and he didn't even pick his head up, didn't even look at anybody. And I thought, that's terrible customer relations, And I thought, that's poor kid. And then he's just not. And I got up to him, and I kind of go, having a bad day? He goes, yeah, I am. My mom's sick, and she might die. And I went,
Oh, boy.
Little did you know what you opened up. Yeah.
that's all you have to do with people is say, hey, how are you? And then
Eye-to-eye
listen.
contact, yeah.
And I think it's like as characters and as actors that we are, it's like there's a bridge and an opening into people's lives that you can either use for yourself or you can use it.
And isn't it?
You can use it to make better somebody.
Isn't it that this platform, this opportunity is that it's to show that there's another world out there somewhere where
Yes.
people are being creative, being funny, loving each other, shining this kind of light and playing. Like we would call, thank you for coming and playing with us. When we do,
I always say,
come in-
You're a big kid.
Right?
That's what I do. He's 10 years old.
but that shows that exists somewhere, right?
Yes.
That
No,
does
definitely.
exist.
To be able to go into
Oh,
a,
you're like 9.5. He's
no,
10.
no, he is my bigger brother.
or going into a hospital and teaching kids to share it with you. Teaching a kid who had cancer, say Hulk smash, and the kid wants to sing it. The kid wants to say it,
and I don't
and so the
think-
kid does
That's
it.
the Hulk?
Yes, and it's like
that
give
energy out.
them that energy. Let them get into it
Empowered.
themselves.
Oh, it's
And
empowering.
it's so much more important. It really is.
He's like, what are we going to use our money on? Another dress?
Yes.
A pair of shoes? A car? What else is there? man, you could change lives. There are kids that
I don't
need
want to
this.
go on that. One other thing that we should talk about with 10,000 Heroes is that there are some corporate sponsors that have come on board with the program, and so I'm producing for Mattel right now for Thomas and Friends. All Engines Go.
Hi, Mattel.
Right, hi Mattel, and they're great. And they found out that we were doing this, and they came on board. So Mattel Play It Forward is the Children's Foundation side,
Yes.
and they don't raise money. That's not what they do. They
Joe invited. They accepted the invitation.
Well, I threw the football to Rob David, the amazing Rob David, who ran it up the flagpole
Awesome.
to Brittany Cruikshank at the Mattel Children's Foundation, who is fantastic. And her son's a big Thomas fan, so we hit it off right away. But they shared the Brave Barbie.
Yes, did you see her? She's so cute.
Oh my gosh. So if anybody doesn't know,
I died when I saw
it's
that doll.
10 years. For 10 years, this has been going on. They've given away 100,000 Brave Barbies. And Brave Barbie,
Isn't that great?
her hair
I
comes
wanna
off.
be
She's
Brave
bald.
Barbie.
And they wanted to show
That's
kids bald.
fantastic.
It's the most
That's
amazing
amazing.
thing. And they're great people. Mattel's a great organization.
Truly.
And
Absolutely.
they do great stuff.
You know,
So they
thank you.
lent their name to this, and they've been nothing but supportive this whole time. You know.
Well, Brave Barbie is like, it's every little girl's, they're able to look at that doll and say, me too. And they got a friend, you know? When I started doing that voice, I was her softer best friend, sweet Barbie, you know?
Right.
That was my whole thing. I wanted to be in their world, you know?
Right.
They later did more of a cooler, hipper Barbie.
Right.
But that was my whole feeling, is I wanted to be their friend. And now that I could see that there's a doll, a little doll that some little girl's going through chemo, that could see her hair's falling out and this doll's falling out. And it's like somebody knows me and can play with me and be like me. And oh my gosh, I think I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
can be
No,
seen.
it's
Something?
wonderful.
Yeah.
Fine.
They can see a version of them. They can see a version of them.
No, we love your tears.
It's okay, Robbie.
Oh, we love her tears. That's good. Don't hold them in.
Well,
no.
Chris, there's a question for you from the chat. This will block the tears. So, how many times did you watch the new Barbie movie, and what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, come on. Not fair. Okay, not fair.
Yeah.
All right, let me just back it up just a little bit.
Right.
Okay, because, you know, when I started her voice, it was in 94. So I did
Thank
a whole
you. I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Right.
94.
94 for like 10 years. We did every toy.
I'm almost 94 now.
Yeah.
We did all of her computer
Me too.
games. We did Teacher Barbie in Spanish. And we did cool shopping. We did it all.
And how many sessions a day or a week would you do? Like, was it every day? Like, there must have been just a ton to do.
Almost. There was
Yeah.
like, well, she didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
They had a couple little jobs here and there.
So
Like,
she never had a
That's a
voice. You were the
huge deal.
first voice.
of Barbie.
That's a big deal,
That
Chris.
is so amazing.
That's fantastic.
No, we want to tell everybody that
It's
is
a big deal.
it
right,
is.
right. That is
Really
a
big deal.
Big deal.
well,
Really big deal.
I'm sure there was other projects that didn't really establish her voice, but when I came on the
no,
scene,
take it.
can I tell you how they cast me?
Nice. Do.
Yeah.
It was the 1994 earthquake in Northridge, California.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
I had an
Totally.
audition the next day to go to Mattel. I had no idea what I was going to audition for. The earthquake broke out, and I mean, things are shaking on the walls, and things are broken glass, and I have a baby and my husband. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not going to make my audition.
Yeah.
The next day was the audition for this doll, and so my husband says, go ahead and go to this thing. I know we have no running water, and you can't really shower. We have no, you know, he goes, you need to go. And I went, okay. He goes, I'll take care of the baby. So I put on my baseball cap and my pink lipstick because I couldn't shower and look Barbie. I just said, I'm going the way I am. It was an earthquake.
You're Earthquake Barbie.
I was going to go. And
There you go. We will never think of you as the earthquake Barbie now.
so the director
Northridge Barbie.
The director on the phone said, why don't you just audition on the phone? We'll know if you're kind of right for this job.
Brilliant.
We'll get a feel for it. We'll know if you're in the ballpark. I went, sure, I'm in an earthquake sitting on my bedroom floor. I'll be good. I said, what do you want me to do? And what do you want me to say? And he goes, just say, hi, this is Barbie. Welcome to McDonald's. And I went, oh.
Yeah.
You just said
Dude,
Barbie.
Barbie and McDonald's. Not just small campaign.
It's not-
Yeah.
I really I thought, okay, he's not talking about Barbie, is he? Yes, he is. And I went, okay. And I said, I thought about all the little girls, their sweet little faces, and then what do they want to play with? I went, hi, it's me, Barbie. You look cool. Welcome to McDonald's.
Boom.
Boom.
He said nothing. He said nothing. He didn't say anything. I went,
Are you there?
can I do it again? Yeah. Can I do it again? You know.
The room spun like when you were trying to do the Hulk. He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
wah, wah,
Oh
wah,
yeah.
wah.
And he says, no,
Really?
no, come down to Mattel tomorrow. Can you just come
Yeah.
down tomorrow?
Oh.
And I want you to do that in front of some people. I went, okay. Then I put on my
We
baseball cap. Like,
Right.
know when
All right.
we know.
You know what?
We know when we know.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Forgive me for interjecting, but this is exactly how many times have all of us heard this? We'll know it when we hear it.
Yeah.
And when they hear it,
Yeah.
boom.
Oh,
and
God.
so
Know
instead
it
of,
when we-
like you,
Amazing.
Chris, and like Freddie, all of us, instead of saying, shit, they don't know what they want. What am I going to
They
say, all
must
right.
have known something because I got in
Well,
my
I'm
car.
gonna give-
I got
I'm
it
gonna
down. I
give you-
drove down there and they said, okay, so I walked into the lobby and there was
Boom.
this gigantic
Isn't it
Barbie
great?
in the lobby. The old days,
Yes.
they had this huge Barbie standing there in her bathing suit.
In the black and white stripe?
Black and white stripe.
Oh, like in the movie.
And I had my baseball cap on. I went, oh, I'm going to your voice. I'm going to do and I went, okay. I just remember at the front desk, the lady goes, are you Chris? I go, yes. And she goes, okay, you're going to go to the sound studio.
No,
the sound
I'm
studio."
Barbie.
And I walked
What happened later?
back to this design studio, and there's all these cubicles at Mattel. There was like a million
Yes,
cubicles.
there still are. There
Yeah.
were still were.
And they're doing like Hot Wheels, and they're doing all these all this, because that was the big thing. And they said, don't look at the cubicles when you walk by. It's big business. You don't want to.
You don't want to disturb?
No, and you don't. You're not. Are you a
Gotta-
spy? You're a spy.
You
Oh
don't
no.
take pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
take
An
pictures.
exciting
Yeah.
plastic clamshell package we've got coming up.
I don't even think that phone's 94.
No, we didn't. We
to
didn't.
that.
No
I'm
cameras.
just walking back,
cameras.
walking back like I can see these little Barbie heads being
The hair.
the hair, they're
Hair. The
putting on
different,
hair,
the different, yes.
and they're coloring the eyes because
Yes.
the whites in the eyes make them
It's kind of
different.
creepy in a
was-
way. It's like different lengths of hair popping through the scalp. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're like, whoa.
Surgical Barbie.
Whoa. Yeah, I did that to my Barbie.
Sure.
They're starting them off this way.
Okay, my story's too long, but I got to the
No.
studio, sat down at the mic, and there's like 8 suits and
Oh, yes.
people standing there
The
behind the
suits.
glass, and I went, hi. And I remember thinking, just be cool, don't act geeky here. I sat down. They said, okay, talkback button, just do what you did it on the phone yesterday. And I went, sure. What did I do? I was an earthquake. I don't remember a thing. And I just went, hi, it's me, Barbara. And I just did the whole thing again. It got really quiet again. Nobody talked. I could see this.
Yeah, that's your nightmare. And yeah, I try not to have that happen.
Thank you. You remember that, okay?
I don't, yeah.
And then in slow motion, he takes his finger off the talkback and goes, hello, Barbie. You ready to go to work tomorrow?
Oh wow.
Oh, wait, we don't. That rarely happens. That never happens that you get that kind of approval immediately.
Yeah. She did.
That.
Yeah.
I've got
I'm sorry.
goosebumps for you.
I'm sorry. Hands down.
The best.
It's hands down.
There-
Oh my gosh, Chris, that I've never
Great
heard
story.
yeah.
Great
Still
story.
cry. This is so crazy. I think about that moment. I thought, even
Oh
an
my
earthquake.
God, Chris.
I mean, when you're
Yes.
supposed to do something, you're supposed to be it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you guys know.
Yeah.
When that's your role, that's your role.
That's
no
your
matter
role.
what,
Right.
that's your role. And I think
Yeah.
to myself, all those years of thinking, my sister playing on the bedroom floor with me with Barbie. I'm going to be Barbie. No, I'm going to be Barbie.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to be Skipper.
Call your sister.
Yeah, I don't want to be Skipper.
Yeah.
Ultimate, the ultimate Barbie Barbie story. Oh
And my daughter,
Well,
she
see,
was a little girl.
Girls have to be Ken, too.
I had it actually really easily because I had it very easy. I always just wanted to be Mitch. And
My daughter was
terrible.
She was a little girl, and people
I
go,
love that, Rob.
They said, "Do you know your mom's Barbie?" And she had all these Barbies in her bedroom, and she was playing with them. And
I've had
it
her
was like,
on Barbie. This little girl she's talking about. She's come and done the character for me.
yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
But she
Isn't
thought that
cool?
was so creepy.
Very
Your mom
cool.
is Barbie.
Yeah.
But Kelsey, go clean your room.
Dude,
It's like,
are you kidding me? Oh my God. I used to
how are
feel
the-
awful.
Right?
Chris, you guys probably have done a lot, and Freddie, you'll be doing this. Career day with your daughter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My
I brought
son,
Tom Kenny for career day to my kids.
dude, my son took me to career, and it was they had maybe 2 or 3 parents. They're like, "This is Natalie's mother. She's a mortgage banker. And she's going to take, and this is Joshua's dad. He is an orthodontist, and here's Ash Paulsen's dad. He's rap."
Yeah.
And I used to get the looks from the other parents. Was like, if looks could kill, they'd have been in prison for life.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, what? How am I gonna? I'm a mortgage banker.
Yeah.
You're a
I
freaking
gotta
Ninja
follow
Turtle.
you.
You couldn't wait to the end. You had to go.
Excuse the other way, where he told his teachers that I was a werewolf in his closet because my studio is in his closet,
gosh,
and
that's
so all he knows, that's a
brilliant.
lot to unpack, And they said, "What does your dad do for a living?" And he's like, "He's a werewolf in the closet." And
He's not
so
wrong.
no, 'cause that's what I've
you want him
been.
to be your dad.
Yeah.
Would you not want this to be your dad? Oh my God.
Because that's what he knows. He hears the werewolf,
Right.
and I'm a
and
bunch
all
of
those other-
all
yeah.
the creatures,
The
and
whole-
they laughed because they knew. They said, "Your son thinks
Sure.
you're a werewolf in the closet." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
My daddy's a werewolf, and he makes sure I have Adderall.
Right.
So I am very.
Right,
I love my daddy.
right. There it is. Simple.
But my daughter thought it was not cool because she was a little kid.
Oh,
She
yeah.
didn't want your mom to be Barbie. It was like saying, "There's
No.
no Santa Claus, honey, and your mommy's Barbie."
Right.
It's like it
that's
messed her.
Isn't it
So
crazy?
she kind of.
Oh, I have to tell you, at Children's
Right.
Hospital, and then Rob, I have a question for you. At
Yeah.
Children's Hospital, when the kids from USC and UCLA would come around at Halloween time and they would dress up.
Yeah.
I.e., I can remember Spider-Man. I can remember so many of the heroes and freak the kids out. Because they're used to seeing them this big on the TV set. And all of a sudden they're live, huge, in their doorway, and half of them didn't.
Yeah.
And all they wanted to do was come around and give the kids some candy for Halloween that couldn't
Did
go
that
out
scare them?
trick-or-treating.
Did they get scared?
It scared them.
Oh yeah.
I have a question, Mr. Rob. I think we have a question via chat, actually, wanting to know about your role in Jimmy Neutron. And how
Oh,
fun was
yeah.
that?
Oh, it's great. It sure beats the heck out of Lipton stuff. I don't know what it is about Carl Weezer, but there's this one episode in which Billy West and I are having an exchange, and Billy says, "Any more questions?" And I say, "Yeah, are you going to finish that croissant?" And people flip out. I don't understand it.
Wow.
I don't care. But there's something about Carl Weezer that is just not only off-putting, and people say, "Yeah, that's weird." I said, "Dude, you should see it from my side. It's pretty odd." But people, you know what happens? And I
Such a
actually
great
have to go,
character.
but I just want to, one more quick thing.
Please.
What happens to all of us, Chris, especially Barbie, legacy characters that are so important to the world, is when people meet you and they find out who you are, and then you do Barbie. Same thing happens to Freddie. It happens to all of us, and we're lucky enough to work on something that's been around. And often, men and women, I don't care the age, they'll just all of a sudden they'll go, "I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening." I know exactly what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
You started to
children.
hear this. Yes, you heard this voice when your little brain
Yeah.
was watching all this stuff, and it's as powerful as the smell of your grandmother's cooking, your late mother's perfume,
It's
or the
so
first
true.
song you
Yeah.
listened to when you fell in love with the girl next door.
Yep.
It is really powerful. And I had that experience years ago. I was working Hanna-Barbera, and Gordon Hunt said, "Hey, Robbie, we're doing this Jetsons. Hey, Robbie, Mel Blanc is here. Do you want to sit next to Mel?"
Oh, my
Sure.
God.
I sat next to Mel. He was probably 80, close to the end. I was maybe 32.
Yeah,
And Mr. Blank, like anyone with a pulse,
right.
it is such a pleasure. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you, young man. And I thought, I'm never going to get this chance again. So I thought,
Right.
"Mr. Blank, if it's not too much trouble." And he said, "Oh," he took off his glasses. He looked at me, "Yeah, what's up, Doc?" And that's all it took.
Oh my!
It was this, and I know exactly what those people are talking about.
Yeah.
And while none of us would compare ourselves to Mr. Blank, we are experiencing the same thing now. When people, anybody's going to cry when they meet Barbie. It doesn't matter what you look like. That voice.
Yes, it does.
is as
I try to do my
powerful-
hair and makeup.
You look great.
You look fabulous.
Did you-
You can't help.
Did
You
you ever-
can't help but look fabulous. But it's the essence of your.
Yes.
You are the
That
soul
kid-
of Barbie, Chris. You're the soul of Barbie.
I had the
That's-
opportunity to sit at the smokehouse with Gene Vanderpyle, Penny
Oh, my God.
Singleton, and Judy Jessen. Not Judy. Jane.
Oh, yeah, I know you mean Janet Waldo.
Janet
Janet
Waldo.
Waldo.
Thank you. And Dawn Pitts. They're
Dawn Pitts.
And I sat and I knew that nobody knew who I was sitting with. And the whole time I'm sitting with them for lunch, pinch,
losing your
pinch,
mind.
pinch.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking animation. We're talking when Penny started back in vaudeville, literally.
Sure. Yeah.
I was in.
She was on.
royalty
She was on.
presence.
She was in the Blondie movies.
Yes,
I think
she
with,
was the Blondie. She
with,
was Blondie.
with George. George.
Yes.
George O'Hanlon,
Yep.
who played the voice
Yes.
of George Jetson.
George
Yeah.
Jetson. Yep. No,
Right.
but my point is that I was a puddle. I was a puddle.
Yeah.
You know,
And they
Oh.
were so grateful.
this is why
grateful
people
that I was
love her.
there.
This is why do you see her little light goes on? It's like
Oh my
she
God.
knows the world
Drooling.
from a kid's view. It's like
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
why
the most
people talk
beautiful
about
thing
you.
I've ever seen.
yeah, Colette she knows and she does.
I
Well,
can't-
Gosh,
I-
I'm loving this.
well, that's because
We
people
all go
talk
home
about
from
you.
every one of these events. We go
Colette-
home from every one of these marvelous Comic-Cons utterly exhausted from saying thank you. Who gets
Yeah.
to do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Right.
God Almighty!
Right.
It's the most impossibly wonderful gig in the world.
Right.
And
I
our
know.
job, we're in the happy business.
We are in delivering happy. I know that there was a question for the room.
Yeah, there's a question for the room.
Oh, by the way, I like the Barbie movie.
Oh yeah. I know. It's like three questions I had answered.
You got to be fast here.
And check your phone.
Great movie.
It's pretty
Question
funny.
for the group. How do you take
Yeah.
theater acting experience and apply that to voiceover?
Yes.
First,
No, I mean just basically the idea of what being an actor is and building a character. So you want to know what this character is. What does it want? What is it? You know, where did it go? Where was it going? Where does it come from? Really, what's the arc in the scene? So you're basically, whether you're on mocap or radio or animation or anything, you're always playing this character that is just like, okay, what is this personality? What soul do you want to inhabit?
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
really the theater of it, you know. And
acting is
What
acting.
he said. What he said.
Right.
That
Because
was
the
really
people,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people who want to be voice actors, they go, I'm pretty good at voices.
Oh,
That's a
sure.
lot different
Yeah.
than understanding
May,
characters.
may I just jump in with
Please.
something? Because seriously, when you do characters and you do all that imitating life, and it is life, your best characters and what you learn is from people you're around daily. If you have an aunt with a funny voice or a neighbor, you just watch people. You're going to get some
Yeah.
of your best
Yeah.
theater moments from a teacher or a dentist or whatever. I think if you there's this one lady, her name's Stella Della Rose, that I saw in Atlanta, Georgia 20 years ago, and I still do her voice. And she,
Good for
when
you.
she talks like this, and she has no front teeth there, and she's always saying stuff like, I can cook better than you. And it's like,
see, that's what you should have answered
you
as
can't make
Barbie.
that up.
When they said you got the job as Barbie, you should be like, thank you. I'm gonna be Barbie. I'm gonna be a doll. No.
that's right, and I love you too, baby.
Sorry. But yeah.
I love you there, little snooker.
I'm telling you
You could,
Want to marry
you
me?
could have
I'll
said-
marry you. I'll marry you straight right now.
I love you.
I love
I
you.
love you.
Hey, Rob, this reminds me of that one
you
pilot
could have
that
said,
you
You
did.
could have said real quick, you said, hey, y'all, you bring that Ken feller in here, and I'm going to teach him the meaning of the word discipline. Like right now.
Rob
Showing up,
Paulsen,
and don't you
ladies and
think I
gentlemen.
can't do it?
Rob Paulsen.
He's bringing you down. He's bringing you down.
Oh, he's so cute. I just love
Oh
him.
no.
I love him both.
I think the follow up to this is that, or
Sorry, Robbie.
No, it's okay.
the when you just told us the story of how you came up with Barbie's voice, though, you you didn't think about the voice. You thought about the emotion that you wanted to convey. You were embodying
How he was going to be.
You were embodying
perceived.
what
You're
it
playing.
meant.
Who did I want to play with when I was little? Not to transition from this, but this room here is legendary for me, and you've been in it too. This is Salami
Yeah.
Studios. We do Adventures in Odyssey in here.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was
This
the
room.
question
We
on the
walk
chat,
by
you
it a bazillion
guys.
times, haven't we, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Every time, and every time I walk by, when I know they're recording in here, it's like,
I would love
don't they
to-
want a voice actor
I
or
know.
director? Don't they want me a voice actor? Don't they? Please,
Radio
please,
drama.
please.
I've mentioned you many times.
Oh yeah.
I like
And
that.
he's been on the show. Okay, so
Yeah, radio drama.
some people don't think
Yeah.
I'm crazy. I'm not just randomly bringing it up. I am.
Good.
Good. Adventures in Odyssey is a radio drama for kids, and it's a really incredible show. It's been around for 38 years.
Amazing.
Forever. Yeah.
Amazing.
Where have you been?
I love
I don't
those
know.
things.
Yeah. Okay. This has been a radio drama for kids.
Okay.
The production on it is stellar, and the directing
Fantastic.
and the
Writing.
actors and
Yes.
the Foley. And these characters have been around for 38 years, and thank God I get to be the host of the show for 38
So
years.
great.
I've been in this room.
You're kidding.
This room
Wow.
This is the room.
saying, hi,
You guys-
this is Chris. Welcome to Adventures in Odyssey for 38 years.
Rob,
Amazing.
You've been on the
I'm
show.
so sorry, folks.
it's
love
okay.
Rob,
It's
we
okay.
love you.
Thank you. I love you guys
I
too.
can't
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much
I cannot thank you
for
enough.
including me. I am beyond flattered. I would stay, but I've got to visit with, Fred
My
and I
heart
have the
is
same
so
parole
full.
officer.
Yes. So they're waiting for you. I told them.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Love you,
much, you
buddy.
guys.
Thanks, buddy.
I love you guys.
Love you,
and,
love you.
and
What camera
God
can I
bless you,
blow a
Joe,
kiss to
and
him?
what you guys are doing.
Rob.
And Colette, it's just wonderful. And for those of you out there struggling, please know that the struggle is absolutely worth it. I can't say anything pithier than that. But these people with whom you're privileged to hang out today know exactly what they're doing. And we are better for having those people in our lives. So thank you all so much for having
Thanks,
me be part of this.
Goodbye, Rob.
Take care, you guys.
Well,
Bye, guys.
Bye, buddy.
Take care.
Be good.
Bye.
Don't go buy those new shoes. Don't go get that new dress or buy that couch. What else do they spend money on?
Don't go on Amazon. Don't go on Amazon.
go on, Amazon.
What else?
Yeah, right?
Okay, here's what we got for you. We've got an answer to something that is so incredible. What am I talking here?
Yep.
Yeah.
That you could change children's lives. And it's not a ton of money. It's whatever you got. We put that all together, and this pill that they're talking about, you see those little kids on commercials, and they're just, you're heartbroken. You see them going through these cancer and all this stuff, and you go, oh, I wish there was something I could do to help them. This is not just giving your money out to some anywhere. This has a direct line to changing their life. Those little kids don't have to suffer and go through this big old chemotherapy thing that just takes them down, and years later it makes them even worse, right?
Yeah.
This is your chance, you guys. If you do anything today, tomorrow, the next day, just please think about how you can make it. I feel like I'm going to cry.
That's all right.
It's coming
On
from the heart.
Mother's Day weekend.
Come on.
Mother's Day weekend.
That's right.
Yes, Mother's Day weekend. This is your chance to bless the moms out
Yes.
there that have their children that
man.
are suffering.
That's so, yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
This is just that moment. I've been in this business for 40 years. You too, you've been. This is what it matters to me the most. I don't care tomorrow if I kick the bucket. I don't care if my tombstone says greatest voice actress. This is what I want to put at the top of the pile and say, this is how I want to be remembered. Being good and kind and making a difference for the world. It's not about just me. It's about a whole lot more. And I know you agree. It's like, so thank you for inviting me
Doesn't
to
get
this.
better than that.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Are you kidding? Thank you for being
I just love
open.
you. You know.
I know. I'm so blessed that you love me so much.
She is, I told her the story. She is the yellow balloon of the world. And many times I know Colette has been through many, many hardships, and she goes down, the balloon goes down. But Colette is that person that will always, always, no matter how hard down you push her under that water, hold her down, she always comes back up. And this is your way up with Joe. You guys are both coming up as yellow balloons.
Yes.
And we're gonna fill the
Well-
sky with balloons.
We both were
I
looking-
love that.
Yeah, fill the sky with balloons.
Yellow balloons.
I'm sitting next to my
All right.
favorite balloon right here.
I know.
Well, everybody out there. Like imagine,
Be a yellow balloon and join us. Be a hero.
be a hero, be a
hero.
yellow balloon.
Please.
Be a yellow balloon.
Yellow balloon.
Yellow balloon.
Did you see that footage when they tried to make Cleveland? They tried to set the world record for releasing balloons in Cleveland. And
Oh.
that's what we want. We want to. We
That's
don't want.
great.
We don't want one balloon in the sky. We want the balloons disrupting
To fill
air
the
traffic
sky.
control.
Oh, right?
I
That's
told you,
right.
Paula,
The
you
city.
are
That's
the
right.
yellow balloon. You will
Absolutely.
always be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're just a whole bunch of balloons going, is it our turn? Is it our turn?
What can we do? What can we do? What can we do?
Well, we're certainly full of hot air.
Right?
and helium.
How do you imagine? Okay, so this is interesting here in the era of where we don't get to see each other in the booth anymore, where we're remoting. How do you imagine that you're speaking to a friend when no one is in the booth when performing or auditioning? Any tips? How do you put yourself in the space?
That's a great question.
It is a great question. And before you do, I'm just going to say that I actually just started getting out there and helping everybody with this because I don't think that you should self-direct. So yeah, I think that more
Yeah,
people.
when I was on the phone with you
yeah.
today, you were just coming
Right.
off. Right.
Right.
What were you doing?
Yeah, just helping somebody out with an audition.
Oh, yeah.
Going over the copy with them, having them bounce things off, sending it to me. Let me listen to it. Let me give them a perspective of
That's
a director.
awesome.
Yeah, I
that you
think
get to do
that needs to be done. It's so
Definitely.
hard,
It
right?
is really
I learned
hard.
that when I do workshops. Nobody really reads, and I'll let you guys answer. I'm sorry, this
No,
is not my
this is
question.
no.
like
This
a
is your answer.
director.
Though.
Yeah, no.
You're the one who actually hires the person and directs them. So
Yeah, who does she know?
right?
You occasionally bring in somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Occasionally. Then my advice would be to read the copy several times, especially the direction. What I'm looking at, or if I hear somebody that has not obviously read the direction, the description or direction, I move on. I
Next.
figured if you have not taken the time to really read it or read the in between where we've put in and then they cough and then they skipped or then they slammed, hook smash, whatever. I want to hear you. We put it in there so that you can use that
Yeah.
for the delivery of the previous or the next lines.
There,
Give
that
it
was
to me.
free. She just gave you that
But
free.
that was.
That was
If you're a
incredible.
voice actor, wannabe out there, please donate about $2,000
Yeah, that's what you would have gotten from the class,
to
right?
10kheroes.com. Link is in the chat. And that's a bargain.
I got more.
Yeah,
No, go ahead.
That's
answer.
golden advice. Do you have anything in your thinking?
I would read the copy a
This
few
is my
times.
love. Yes, darling. Do I have anything? What was the question?
Oh,
Because you don't get
How do you-
direction.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you have to go cold
You're there
on
on your
copy,
own.
self-direct.
Okay, again, I go back to my life experience with people. Okay, and I don't think about the voice. I think about their personality. That's why I usually think about who they were. They're just what made them kind of quirky. I don't like to direct. I am not a good director. I'm not a good editor. I'm not a good director.
No, but when you do this, do you anchor? I've told people this. If you anchor your character in someone that you know or you're
Oh,
pulling,
yes.
you will always be consistent in that voice and you will come back. Again, great tidbits. But that to me is that is golden as well. Anchor. Put it to your mailman, your whoever, your Aunt Sophie,
or
whatever.
Stella Della Rose.
Stella Della Rose, right? Exactly. And that way you will be consistent for the entire recording. Because if you get on or get in and then you can't stay in voice, it's not comfortable for you or for the director. If I'm having to play ref.
If it's a real person
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you get to anchor it into
There's
somebody,
no-
and you don't waver.
You know, being in a booth is not. It's lonely in there. Huh?
It's
not the
also
same.
intimidating.
It
when you're in
is.
there. Your heart, you can hear it. You're in here with these headphones.
Yeah.
The
unless you
fun
have
was
other
going
people.
out and seeing people and saying, "Hey, how are you? What's happening?" and blah blah blah, and shooting the breeze. And now it's like you go in a little booth and you go in there and you go, "I get something to drink," and you
I
just
was never
it's not-
making it sound sound like it's like
Torture?
Yeah, right? Right. No,
If
you
you're
know
interested in a
better.
career in torture,
It's torture for me because I'm alone in my booth. I need people.
Yeah. Back to Ensemble Records.
That's no, I mean that's but there's another side to that where the booth can be always working off another actor is the best thing.
Yeah.
Because acting is reacting, right? But in those situations, I find it very freeing, especially as a voice actor, not tied to anything. This is theater of the mind. So when I read a script, I have got to be in that scene. Like I have to really, like with all those directions, like, oh, he tripped over this or he coughs here. Yeah. Try to imagine it as strongly for yourself in being in that moment, in that scene and going through it. The anchoring is a perfect thing because even if you just pick a funny affectation of a voice and make that a real character and make it like, okay, there's a real thought process going on and you want to make these words your own. That's a big part of it is how to hook up. One of the great things about theater is you have rehearsals. So by the time you're up on stage and performing it, those words hopefully are your own because you've had to make them your own.
And that is how you do it. That's perfect.
But now if I get a script the first time, one of the hardest things to do, unless it's narration, is to make this come off the page.
Right.
To make it seem like Roger Craig Smith and I always have a joke about that. Like, can you do it again, but make it seem like it's actually happening? It's a joke.
It is.
But that was a real joke. Because that was said to a friend of ours once.
Oh, I've watched a director say,
Act better.
it's literally taking this long, finger down. Well, take two.
Ouch.
And then that actor looked right at me like, what do I do?
Yeah. I don't know. Just act like it's happening. No, and so the thing is that you have to really, again, root it in there. And there is a great freedom, though, in the booth where you're like, wow, the sky's the limit. Right. I can actually shapeshift into 100 different things right now. And as long as I'm consistent and honor the copy and honor the script and what the character's in it, then we're in good shape. Then we're in good shape.
Honoring the script, honoring the copy is huge because just so that everybody knows, and I like to tell my students and my talent that are in the booth, you pay a little respect to the creator who has probably been playing with this baby, for years, years and years and years prior to selling it to somebody who then their development team has taken it and tweaked it, and they had to go along with their thoughts because they bought it, and then and so if you think that because you got the copy and you read it and you think that you know what is better than what's description and what the copy says, think twice before you decide that you can do a better job in changing it.
Maybe do a second take if you want to do that,
or a third or fifth.
No, and I love that. If I have somebody do a callback, come on in. You do what you did, what got you back in there. I'll play it for you. But now you want to play? Go.
Yeah.
I want to see. And actually, on Grimm Adventures of Billy and Mandy, that's how we got Grimm.
Yeah.
That's how he landed that gig because it was
just by playing around. A whole new kind of take on the character.
I remember my daughter once coming by me and she was listening to me do something and she goes, "That doesn't sound very real." I went,
right.
"How do you know?" I was very real. She goes, "That's not how you could say that." I went, "Well, you say it." She says, I go, "Okay, that's good." But I want to be real. I want to be, that's
real to itself.
Real, real in that it has arms and legs,
Let's take a little break. We get to go have a croissant. Awesome. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all so much.
We'll be right back.
It's a wrap.
Good luck to it.
Thank you.
Woo!